Today we're going to talk a little bit about Trump's lawyer that's having all these problems for part of the program. And the other half, we're going to talk about that Nixon lady that's running for governor in the state of New York. As far as we're going to start with this guy, Mr. Cohen. He's supposed to be Trump's lawyer. He's the one that gave the money, the $130,000, to the one girl, and the other girl. This is all around the election. The fellow that has the magazine, one of those magazines, he gave the other girl $150,000 for Trump. You know, they keep saying, well, Trump knew about the money that Cohen gave this girl, but and Trump says he didn't, and the lawyer Cohen says he never told Trump nothing about it. So the question is, well, we admit that the other money coming from the man that owned the magazine, he had it, but I just found out lately this guy Cohen has a lot of money and properties. He's not your lawyer off the street lawyer, and he's been doing things for Trump for about 10 years, but he has money. So if he has money, that means he had a line of credit on his house at the bank. That's what he said. He went and he drew down $130,000. Then he set up another company, and that company switched the money to that company, and that company gave the money to the girl. But what exactly is wrong with that? And is that bank fraud? Because the first charge on him is bank fraud. Now there might be some other things, but if they're mainly talking about these romances that Trump had, then this would have to be one of them. And I don't see how there's any bank fraud here. If this boy went and he took the money from his house, put it in another company, and gave her the money, $130,000, which he didn't have to, because supposedly the sex that they had, which Trump denies, was in '07. So it was 10 years before. It's not like it's something that just happened. But I don't know. I can't see that. Now, one charge is bank fraud on him, and the second charge is fraud. I don't know where the fraud is. We don't know that much about this as far as where the other fraud is. But the bank fraud is the first charge, and the bank fraud, the way I see it, has to have something to do with that money that he borrowed on his house, which is, I don't see anything wrong with it. And then he transferred it to another company, and that company gave her the money. I don't see anything wrong with that. But all the people are waiting to read this indictment, or the charge, but we keep getting little things coming out about it each day, but we haven't seen it. We haven't seen the exact thing against him and what they're looking for. Now, the other thing I was going to talk about today is this Nixon girl that's running against Cuomo for governor of New York, state of New York. Nixon, I think she's going to do good. The election's November 7th, and nationally everything you read says Cuomo has $20,000 in money that people have given him for the election. And it also says that Cuomo helped pass the medical marijuana, but he's definitely against marijuana over the counter, which she's for that. Marijuana over the counter, it'll make New York the 8th state. And let's face it, they smoke a lot of marijuana in New York, and supposedly it's the highest price in the United States, and most of it comes from California. That would be California, Eastern California, up to California, and go to the right, going toward Oregon. That's where they grow the best marijuana in the United States. Now, how they get it to New York City, I don't know, because when you cross all those states carrying marijuana, any one of them, if they check the car, you're going to jail for possession, because there's only 8 states where you can have marijuana over the counter. Now, they could say, you could say you have medical marijuana. A lot of states have medical marijuana in it. But I don't know if that'll get you through that state or not, to where you're carrying all this big load of marijuana to New York City, because you're going to sell it to the people in New York City. They want it, and they pay the highest price in the United States. You know, in every article you read, it says that he has $20 million people have given him for the election. But we did some research on this Nixon woman lately. You know, she was a star in a big show, Sex and the City or something like that. Internet, what's her worth? $80,000. So I don't think this 20 that he has is scaring her a bit. And if she really puts her mind to this, and she really goes for it, I got a feeling this is going to be a very, very close election. Yeah. The last 2 women he run against, he beat pretty bad. But unless the internet's wrong, as we researched her, it's shown that her net worth's at worth $80 million. And this woman wants to put her mind to it. I got a feeling she could win the election, and she would be the next governor of New York. Thank you.